Hey chat, how are we doing today? Okay. I just want to say, and I'm going to explain this in a minute, but I got done absolutely atrocious today. Like, absolutely horrendous. I started playing, like, I got a hold of the Spyro randomizer, right? Like, Spyro 3 randomizer I talked about last stream. So I got a hold of that earlier today, and, like, I got it set up and running. And the first seed I generated, which, by the way, I personally put the seed number in, one of the eggs is in the most just unreasonable place known to man, and I have no idea how to get to it. So, just quickly up here. So, I'm gonna quickly sketch this out for a second here, right, chat? Because this is absolutely horrendous. So, in the game, I'm just gonna quickly turn this on. I wasn't planning on using my tablet for this today, but I prefer to use that over a mouse because I'm going to be doing a little bit of drawing. Here we go. So there is a map called Sunny Villa. And it's one of the first maps in the game. And by all means, it should be a relatively easy first level, right? So there is a section, like you have like your starting section around about here. There's like a nice big wide open section around here. This is not to scale, by the way. There's like a small section here where there's a guy running backwards and forwards, all that. And you get to like this bigger section here that sort of curves around and goes off in this direction, right? So this section here, which is actually a part of a bigger enclosed space that's going to be important in a second, has this little awning on a roof. So it's like a roof that has a little bit of awning that goes off to the side. Now this section, there's like a ledge that breaks off into like a mountainous part, and then you've got like some platforms here. You've got like a larger cubic section, You got like a couple of smaller platforms that you can jump to and from, and all that fun stuff, right? Like, by all means, like a relatively reasonable type of platforming. Now, the randomizer swaps stuff around, so you've got your gem baskets, you've got your like your actual gems themselves, and then you've got like your eggs. Actually, try and draw an egg shape would be a great start. And then you've got like extra life bottles, so you've got like these things. So like all of these can be swapped independently of each other in this randomizer. So like, say for example, you can have a gem a place where an extra life bottle would be, or you could have an extra life bottle be where like a gem basket is. But sometimes there's like a fifth option where there's like literally nothing at all in whatever location. So in this area, I've gotten all the gems, and I've gotten, I believe it's 5 of 6 eggs. And I'm losing my mind, right? Because I'm like, where is this last egg? Because it wasn't in the special area that's all the way back here. There's no special area. There is a Sheila level, and it wasn't like, it wasn't there either. It wasn't in the Sheila level. Like, it wasn't in Skateboard, it wasn't in Sheila, it wasn't anywhere else on the map. So I run around the map for a bit, and I'm sitting on this particular tower, which, this is important, this is like the tallest tower in the entire map. And I'm looking out this direction, which is where this 6th egg should be. It's the egg that you get for gliding across a couple of pillars and getting to a rounded section back here, and the egg's like here, right? So like you glide across here, you jump these 2 platforms and into this area where there's an egg. So like that would be where you'd go. But it's not there. It was completely empty. Like it was completely empty and there's nothing I could do about it. So I'm sitting here, right? And I look off to my right, and the egg is sitting up here. And I was like, okay. And then I realized, you can't jump, you can't glide to there, because there's no platforms or anything to get there. Most of this is low barriers. So that's not an option, because you can't just climb up here, because like it cuts off around about here, where this is all mountainous terrain. So all of this is mountains from here on, and the only way, and there's like curves around possibly, and there's like a thing here, like there's like an archway here. So there's an arch here. So that's too tall to jump on. This section here is also too tall to jump to. So I can't use this section to climb up here. Not yet anyway. So there is a small area. So it's like absolutely tiny. It's like maybe, I'd like to say, if this is the amount of mountain that you can hit, and this is like the board to the world, by the way. So if like this is going towards the archway, this is going towards like the smaller platforms, the only section I can land on is this tiny little square, and I've done it one time. I've had like 12 attempts at this so far. So the idea is maybe I can get onto here, and there is actually mountains going off in this direction. So I'm wondering if I can climb up these and find a way to glide around to even like the top of the archway, but failing that, this section here, and try to get on here. It's an absolute mess. Like, on God, I did not think that I got a hard mode seed, because the seeds specifically like, looking at the... What's it called? So, looking at the readme for the randomizer, it says, oh, all seeds ending in a specific set of numbers. I believe it's 405. They can... Like, they become hard mode seeds. I'm like, okay, it's all well and good. Like, I didn't pick a hard mode seed. Specifically, the number I picked was 4,444. Yes, like, I know that's an old dead meme, but, like, I picked the seed 444. Sorry, 4444. And for some reason, it's just over there. I would like to know why it ended up there. I want to know if it's even physically possible for me to get to it. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's do some Pokeballs, yeah? So... I believe that was... I think I had like 9 centimeters for the sphere size. Or actually, it might have even been 10. Okay. Okay, it must have been 10. And then I control 2 for this one? Or is it 3? It's 3. And then I probably need to scale this up a bit because it looks like these have been messed about with a bit. So if I scale this up, I just need to scale this so it fits relatively smooth, but it's not like entirely encroaching. Like, that's probably roughly about what I want to be. So just put that away. Shade. Yeah, auto smooth should be fine. And then go into edit mode. Actually, no, I need to apply subdiv first. I'm actually going to just shade this smooth proper. And then edit mode, Alt-Shift-S for sphere mode. And we're just going to do the same thing that we did yesterday, except this is going to be slightly smaller. So I believe it's these ones here. And then loop tool, circle. We're basically just making the area for the button at this point. And this time, SZ0, SZ0. And then just make sure that it stays a sphere. Alright, so now we've got this. I'm going to... grab all the faces that I need. So these ones and probably these ones as well. And then I want to the selection. So now these are 2 separate halves. So grab that, move that around. That looks accurate. Work on this bit. Just quickly have a drink because I didn't have a lot to drink right before I started stream today. I was too busy figuring out how to get the impossible egg. Like, theory crafting, it should technically be possible. I don't know that it is, though. And I want to turn that into a circle, because we're going to need that in a bit for making the bottom. I'm going to scale this out slightly. And then inset. Actually, no, I'm gonna extrude this first. Or do I want to extrude this? Yeah. So I'm gonna grab the base ball. And put away the god ball. I want to extrude this out slightly. And then grab these, inset this. I think I'm going to do a couple different designs here. So I'm going to inset this and I'm going to extrude that back up. Just G in. Scale that in a bit further. go, that should be fine. Now the only problem is like shading this smooth, it just looks strange. Oh, I need to add a bevel to this. I think that bevel. I think it's like 0.005 for this. I also need to scale even smaller than that, it seems. Yeah, there we go. Now the only issue is that's the thing. Like it's hexagonal. I don't particularly want it to be. I wonder if I need to add extra geometry to this. Like, it's especially bad around here. I wonder if I need to change it up a bit. Bevel 0.0005. Because, like, the problem is now it's just, like, it's basically turned into a octagon. But I want it to be a bit smoother than that, you know? And, like, I could just add geometry to it, but it's not going to help here. Like, smoothing, like, turning this into a circle works, I guess, but in the same time, it's not circular. And that's annoying a bit. Make shell designs. I wonder how I can add extra geometry to this. Because, like, it's all well and good to do that, but maybe I can subdiv this and then turn this into a circle. My only issue with this, though, is obviously there's n-gons coming off of this, so just need to be aware of that. But, like, it's not the end of the earth if I leave an n-gon or two on this. I'm gonna leave a space there and I'm gonna extrude this back up. Now, if I add a bevel and 0.0005. Okay, that looks a bit better now. The only issue is, of course, the n-gons. I could probably edit the edge flow, perhaps. So what I can do is I can probably... I mean, it would turn it into a pole, but I think, honestly, a pole would be better than having an n-gon in this case. Let's try it. So if I do that and connect to that one there, hit enter, and then if I dissolve this, I didn't ask for copy, I asked you to remove that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I've really messed it up. Okay, that might not be the way to do it. Oh wait, I know how to do this actually. this side. And then enter. Now if I join these. So if I dissolve those, it's just gonna have the same problem, right? What a pest. Because even if I inset, that's still going to be an input. Like, what the hell am I expected to do here? Like, I could just potentially cut straight across here. But that just, again, begets more of these stupid end-ons. Ah. I guess the only way I can go about fixing this is to literally just create more geometry around here. Not the way I would have wanted to do this, but whatever. Actually, why haven't I auto-mirrored this is my real question. Okay, auto-mirror. Negative. Go. Let's get rid of these. And, well... Now, I would like to keep the low poly. I could split these and then merge them onto, like, these ones here. Perhaps I should do that. But then that becomes the problem of what am I going to do about that? Pesky geometry. Join those. Join those. Control X this perhaps. And then those. Control X on that one. Join these two together. Those two. And then Control X one. Why did I make that into a much bigger mountain than it needed to be? Like, that's literally the easiest solution. I mean, it's not perfect, sure, but like, come on now. Probably just need to slide that in a bit. In fact, no, I don't even need that one. What I can do is I can actually just bevel, if it will let me, the specific edge here. Need to go by a weight. If I bevel that now, yeah, that's a lot better. That. Okay, is it just me or is this a lot flatter than it should be? Let's go off the head. I swear it feels flatter than it should be. If I go into object mode, yeah, like that is not the way that should be. If I inset this, it sort of works, but not really. It's rather odd. It's like... It's almost like it shouldn't be. I wonder what I've done to screw this up so badly. I can actually just remove this and replace it. Okay, Shift A. Control 3. That was 4, not 3. Go. There, A. Yes. Scale that. Pesky, pesky, pesky. Instead of doing the scale in object mode, I can just do it in edit mode. Well, to be fair, probably doing an object mode would give me a better idea of what I'm doing. Okay, Control A, apply the scale. Shade smooth, edit mode. Right click and circle. I think maybe in setting this might be a better. Yeah, I think this works a lot better. And now, if I get rid of the spear for a moment, and faces, yeah, actually I need to remember to kind of messed up for a second here, but that's fine, I can fix that. That is what an undo button is for. 0, 0, and a Alt S, just make sure it is spherified. And now I can grab everything. Grab those. Yeah, I think it's sufficient. Key selection. Alright, now we can go through with this. So set that. Okay. Actually, probably, I wonder if turning these into a circle would be easier and then insetting. Yeah, that possibly works a bit better. Then, just have a quick sip while I think about what to do next. Cool. Now, that. Extrude this outward. I'm also going to add the bevel over here. Now I'm actually going to remove these spaces because they're not going to be helpful here. I'm going to grab all these. I'm going to E and then S to scale inward. And then extrude them out this way. And what I can do now is I can just right click and where is my grid fill? Here it is. I'm going to make the span 4 and mess about with the offset. There we go. That should be sufficient. French ass music. I'm going to grab these actually. just do this along the global. I can then just shift Y for it. Scale, actually probably a little bit less than that. I'm going to do one loop cut and then bevel this. And the entire point is just to have a little thing here that can be lit up. Probably just about that much. It looks a little bit strange, I'm not gonna lie. Is this even? It looks even. What if I changed it to weight? I'm going to bevel this. Make it look a bit more smooth. I'm going to grab all of these and set the weight on these ones. And then bevel weight. Probably set to like 0.7. That should be fine. I can just do this. So if I grab these here and then Shift D and separate by selection, I can now use this as a button. So grab all that, extrude it out. Actually, you know what I have forgotten to add and why it may look a bit strange? I've forgotten to subdiv. There we go. Now it looks a little less weird. Make sure the bevel's after subdiv and not before. Now what I can do is I can just hide this for a moment. Grab this, grab this, grab this. Grab the button. And I believe it's this one? Yeah. Control L and... where is my modifiers? There it is. Copy modifiers. Button, edit mode. Extrude outwards. Just make sure that the button's not too weird. And then change this back to angle. It looks a bit squared off, no? Even then, that looks a bit strange. Wonder if I... even removing subdiv, it doesn't really help. Okay, beveling does nothing really here. Alright, what am I going to do about this? Maybe if I circle this, like, the entire way? It just... I don't know, chat, it looks like a really weird mochi, almost. Like, it's not round. I don't know what the deal is. What an odd thing to have going on here. I wonder if it's because of the infill. It might be because of the infill that I used. I'm going to delete these. Delete faces. I'm going to fill. And I do have a plan for this, don't worry. So fill that. And now, if I inset it, and make sure I inset on both sides. And inset again. offset. And then if I delete both of these now and grid fill them. Why is the grid fill just not in the right click menu? Am I blind properly? So that's one. Okay, so I want the infill to be 4 and the offset to be 1. Alright, base, grid fill. 4, offset 1. Okay, now we have a round button. Now if I bring this back, there we go, we've got a button. A very clickable one at that. Now using the... what's this called? Proportional editing. I can now properly indent this. Just make it look like an actual button. Okay, it's maybe a little bit too much. There we go, that's good. Now we've got a Pokeball shell. And... I should have actually paused modeling this slightly earlier, because I do want to do maybe slightly different designs for this upper sphere, but that's fine. I can remodel this in a minute. Now, I think we'll just do... oh. Internal bottom, and then obviously bottom there. So I'm gonna chuck... I'm not gonna chuck it back here, I'm gonna throw this in space. So, move this to a collection within spheres. If it will let me. New collection. And then chuck that on the spheres. So now we've got that. Anyone else feel like that maybe the sphere half is split maybe a little too much? Like, is that just me? Probably. So if I go back to this. And then back to edit mode, I just realized that I'm not in... auto mirror. Okay, let's do this properly this time. And then mirror above everything else. If I apply this, then it's just going to cause the ball to act weird. I am going to add a solidify though. I'm going to get rid of the internal bottom for a moment here. Let's add a solidify to this. Because obviously it's going to need some padding. Alright, mirror first then, that one. Okay. 0.005. I thought this would have worked before the... okay, I guess. I need to apply the solidify. Is this going to be enough? I just realized. offset. Don't really need to worry about that because that is going in the direction. Make sure I put in even thickness too while I'm at it. Because I didn't do that last time around, I don't believe. So apply that one. And option verify remote. Oh, good lord. What have I done? Oh, it's because, dang it, now I have to redo this. But that's fine, because I can just use this as an opportunity to pause the modeling at a section where it's appropriate to pause it. Alright, once more from the top. Okay. Apply subdiv. Yes. Put that to smooth. Grab these ones. Get rid of that guy. And loop tools, circle. Yep, that seems about right. Also circle this one. SC0. Ah, right. Proportional editing is still on. Need to recircle this. And now... grab these. Now, chat, I've been considering on taking a break for a few days, because I'm possibly gonna email, what is it, Weta Studios, or Weta Effects rather, and ask them if I can come down to their studio to see what it's like down there, because I am genuinely curious. Okay, my selection? Yep. Gotta remember to shape both these smooth. But yeah, I'm genuinely curious as to how they do VFX down there. So I want to come down at some point and have a look. I'm just gonna have to email them first. But if I'm gonna do that, the city is almost 10 hours away from me by car. So if I was gonna go down there, it'd probably have to be over a few days. Now, what was I doing here? I've been completely thrown off since I accidentally broke this. Right, I need to put the solidify modifier on first. Before I do anything else. Also, I just realized that I never scaled this correctly. So I actually need to bring these back so I can scale this up a bit. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, now go into edit mode and do this stuff. MP selection. Object mode. Work on this one now. Set that. Actually, I'll do it compared to the ball top and bottom. Alright, now I should be able to extrude this out. Get rid of these faces here. And then extrude, scale, extrude back inwards. And then fill this in and set it. Cool. Now, if I add a bevel to this, go. Except this one's going to have to be by weight instead of angle. I'm going to need to weight all of these. And set the weight all the way up. This one, I'm going to have to bevel this. Just to give it a smoother fall off. And now, I think I can actually probably split this off. In fact, no, I'm going to scale this in first. Y. Scale that in just a smidge more. There we go. Now I need to remember to add the subdiv to this. And add the bevel after the subdiv or before? Okay, yeah, before looks a lot better. Now we've got a smooth ass Pokeball going. Now, this is going to be the basis for the internal structure. In fact, do I want to set the... No, actually, this is fine for internal basis. Because I'm not going to have wedge shapes for the button insert. The button itself, maybe, but not for the insert. I'll pull that down a bit. So I'm going to grab these, chuck that into internal. So... internal bottom and internal top. There we go. Now I've done that. Wait, did I do the thing? God, I forgot to add the stupid goddamn modifier. Also, why is that got a hole in the top? Alright, how far back do I have to go? I can't believe I forgot again. Okay. This time, without being a complete and utter brain-dead moron... How did this even happen? Oh my god, it's attached to the bottom. How did you even manage this? Okay, separate by selection. Control J to join these two together. Merge by distance. There we go. Now that's back together. Stupid thing should stay in its own lane. I don't know why I'm making the most basic mistakes today. Solidify first. Set this to like 0.005 maybe? Maybe even a bit thinner than that. Like, maybe 0.2. Is that too thin? Add the on page for this. So I can actually see what I'm doing. 3, maybe? Yeah, okay, that should be sufficient. And then... Control L... Copy modifiers. Apply this to the both of them, so I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. Good. Alright, cool. Now if I inset this, this should be good. extrude that outwards. And then delete those. Faces. Oh, yeah, of course. I was like, why is that like that? Then I realized. Scale. And then extrude that inwards. Along the Y, preferably. F. Fill. Thanks. Now, if I grab this and set it. There we go. We now have that. If I add a bevel to this 0.005 and keep this to I was clicking the wrong section. That's a my bad. Average cyclonic moment, honestly. Grab this one, actually bevel it. There we go, got a Pokeball, subdiv surface. And then... oh yeah, I need to bevel this one too. I probably need to bevel this actual instead of having it like that. Now, why would that be like that, I wonder? If I set this to 0... okay, so this actually needs to be eased up just a bit. So if I set this to like 0.2 now. If I swap these around, it does nothing for the second. Actually, yeah, it does. It's just I need to turn that back on. There we go. Okay, now I can use this as a basis correctly without it breaking everything. I'll just scale this along the dot Y. Scale that in a bit more so it's more accurate sizing. Now, provided this stupid thing doesn't have any more complaints for it to throw at me. So, grab this, control. I need to do that the other way around, otherwise I'll lose the modifiers on the top one. There we go. Now we have 2 balls. Oh, I need to do the edges too while I'm here. Cannot forget to do that. And get rid of the bottom one. Grab the edges. And increase the weight. Alright. Go to like 0.1. So it's nice and crisp without being overwhelming. Maybe I want to set this a bit lower than this. There we go. Like, even then, I still probably want to set this to like 0.7 at most. There we go, that's nice and clean. And then same with the bottom one, just make sure I get the thing here. Grab these ones. And then set the bevel weight to be 0.7. I've done goofed, right, chat? Because I've re-entered the whole obsession with randomized as speedruns era. And I've been maybe watching a little bit too much of the Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizers. And while I love them to death, I know for a fact I could not manage to do that. Like, I don't know why I think, oh yeah, I could do that. I've never played a single game of Kingdom Hearts in my life. And somehow I think I could do randomizers. Like, bruh? Like, get real? On God? Okay, so I've probably got to do something here. I just want to get this to be conforming a little bit better. I actually probably want to do a mirror modifier on this thing, because I keep forgetting to do them. Auto mirror. Do that before everything else though. And now if I do this, it should propagate to both sides instead of just the one. There we go. Now it does look a little bit weird here. I have no idea what I'm going to do about that, because that's just turned all of those into N-gons. Because, like, the more I bevel this, the weirder it's going to get. And it doesn't actually, to be honest, it doesn't look terrible the way it is right now. But, to be fair, it could use a little bit of work. So I'm just going to maybe that much and just hope that nobody notices, basically. Is there a way to do this without creating a massive mess out of my topology? Probably not. So I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get. Like, if you're looking at it from a distance, you're probably not going to know. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell did I do? Where's my mirror modifier? Blender, why are you like this? And make sure clipping is on, you jerk. And then hide this one so I can get to this one. And then I want to auto mirror that way up to the top. And that's going to be on the inside, so nobody is going to notice that. So we got that now. Okay, that looks pretty decent. And now I'm going to grab these two, put them into the internal. And then we're going to call this one internal bottom. Internal top. Alright, so we've got that. Now, there is also one other thing I want to do before I start moving this around. Actually, do I want to do that now, or do I want to wait? I think I'll wait on this one. Because I was going to say, oh yeah, I can do, like, padding. But, like, here's the thing, right? So, like, the actual assignment is to do padding on the internal. And that's all well and good. But if you look at a Pokeball's actual internal. So, like, if you look at the inside biblically accurate Pokeball, and I know this is correct, it's not padded. It's got energy sources, it's got reflective glass, it's got all that stuff. It's got copper pins. Like, I know for a fact this is correct. Like, none of this, 5-star hotel bullcrap. Right? Like, this is from the anime. That's the actual biblically accurate design of a Pokeball. That's how it works. It has a reflective interior. So I'm going to do this as well. Like, I'm going to do the padding because that was what's requested me this time, but I'm also going to do a version that has that reflective internal. So for now, I'm just going to have this be the way that it is currently. So I am going to select all the objects in this, and I'm going to duplicate them. And I'm going to move these to baseball. Going to hide the Spears collection and bring up the baseball collection. So we'll do padding for this one. But first I want to do like some buttons and whatnot. So grab all of these. Shift D, P by selection. And then object mode. Grab this thing. And bring it into edit mode. So extrude that. And there we go. We've got a like an actually somewhat decent button. So now I'm going to delete the faces on this. And I'm going to rid from this. I think is probably the best way to do this. Oh, of course, because this is mirrored. I'm going to apply the mirror if that's the case. And now I'm going to print this. I'm going to set this down to 4. Set the offset to 1. And then I'm going to proportionally edit these. Y, just a very small amount. So we have like the indent on the button. Now for this one, I'm going to just do the classic bevel for that and extrude it inwards. And this is just going to be the base design of a regular Pokeball. That is, it's going to have a single like round section where the LEDs are, and that's it. So I'm going to, where is my, I have things selected, what are you talking about? I want to add weight to these if you would please. Least you could do is not lie to me, Blender. Okay, I need to get rid of the subdiv for a second here. Why is that all weirdly angled? Is it because this is mirrored? Could be. Okay, let's try. Actually, let's just get rid of all this, right? And make sure that it's in the correct mode this time. So B, extrude this along here. And that should hopefully not be at a weird angle this time. I don't know why it did that. Is it because I had something else selected? Possibly. And now, if I set the bevel weight, I'm going to set to like 0.5. Actually, I'm going to bevel this lot by hand because apparently the bevel modifier does not want to play ball here. Not that that's unusual, but you know, it do be like that sometimes. I don't know what this thing's deal is. Like, why are you being so upset about me putting a bevel in there? Do you want... Would you prefer me to put the bevel on the outside? Yeah, I think that's why it was so salty. What's the bevel weight on these ones? Just so I can get a bit more consistent. It's 0.2. 0.2 it is. There we go. Got ourselves a regular ass Pokeball. I still gotta do like hinges and stuff too. Like, I'm wasting a lot of time. I don't know why I'm so thirsty today. I think lunch must have been a bit too salty. Okay, so another design idea that they had was to bevel this section here. I'm gonna do just that. So I'll do E and then Alt S. Remember to get rid of that. And then probably the outside edge needs to be beveled more than anything else. So I set the 0.8. Yeah, there we go. Now I think this is basically as close to the accurate design as I can get for the base of the Pokeball. And then like the hinge is going to be all the same. So I'll make one hinge first and I'll just duplicate it across. So that's why I'm going to shift A, add a, probably a cube, right? Yeah, I think a cube's probably the best way to go about this. And Y. Probably should make sure I have this on increment first. X and Y. And then apply the scale for this. C. C. Let's just scale this in the X a bit until it's in a good spot. Alright, cool. So now, I believe it's like 1, 2, 3 bevels. And I'm gonna activate clamp on this. Actually, I can probably just do the same for both sides. So B. There we go. Do a loop cut around here. Actually, I can't do a loop cut. So what was suggested was using the knife tool, and I believe it's... Why is it not showing a... Weird. Why would it not be showing a location for it to cut from? Because normally, like, if you hover over vertexes and whatnot, it will show you that there's like a vertex there that it wants to snap to, but it's not in this case. So I'm going to do the other option, where I grab this and just yeet. And now if I click out of that, it should be bisected. Now if I bevel this just a small amount, just set it to 1, and then grab all of these and delete them. Now fill in these spaces. And now we can have two separate sections of this. So I'm going to grab that P by selection and then go back here. Hatch. Actually, I can go hinge lower. Hinge upper. I go into this. A. Then scale. There we go. That's roughly what they wanted me to do. Now, the next thing I'm going to have to do is use booleans, which I'm not the greatest fan of. And anyone who's ever used Blender knows exactly why that is. Booleans in this software kinda suck. So... just gonna do a boolean. Actually, I wonder if I can... this one? No. There's supposed to be like a keyboard shortcut that allows me to set up a boolean, but it doesn't appear to be working right now. So I'm going to do this manually. So if I do that now... that was not what I wanted. Just want the face, thanks. I think it's actually supposed to be the other way around. So if I boolean from that one, there we go, and I'm gonna shift D, and then I'm gonna have hinge upper bool. Actually, I'm just gonna put this as hinge bool, and have this as hinge upper. So now, if I go into this one, I can scale it up and down, supposedly. I need to... I'm going to set this to be... where is it? Wire. So this lower one should be hinge to bool. Now if I scale this, yeah, I can now do that. If I grab the bool, there we go. Now I can just edit this around until it's roughly around the size I want it to be. Also, I just realized I accidentally scaled that in the object mode instead of the edit mode. So I'm going to scale that like that. Scale that X, if you let me, thanks. Now why won't that let me scale in the X? Scale that out a bit more, and then if I go back into here, we now have a perfectly good hinge working. Now the only thing left to do really is to put a pin in this, basically. I'm also going to add a bevel modifier to these. So I'm going to go hinge upper, add a bevel. And then, just need to quickly get rid of that. If I subdiv this, it's not really going to be helpful, is it? Oh, good lord. What have I done to this poor thing? That didn't deserve it. Okay, I'm just going to set the edges manually, I guess. if it will let me. Okay, I think these should be sufficient actually. And then wait. And for some reason that is not doing what I intend it to, so let's just put it to wait, thanks. Weird. I guess the bevel doesn't want to work on this. Oh right, it's because the clamp is on. I wonder why the clamp would be on. If I bevel this, right, there's no reason why that should be doing that. Is something orientated wrong? It is not. Is something... Yeah, something was janky there. What the hell? Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Bevel. Okay, there we go. Now it's functioning as intended. I guess the, do weight. Set the bevel weight to be like that. And then do that. 0.5. That's probably even too little. But I'll set this all left. There we go. And then I need to shade the smooth on this. Yeah. Okay, now if I go back into both there, and then link the modifiers to this one. It's a shame that I can't keep the modifiers, so I'm gonna have to just redo that. Copy modifiers and then Boolean onto the hinge ball. So if I ball first... Oh wait, that's hinge upper. I want hinge lower for that one, thanks. So, edit... Actually, what is... Why is ball considered generate when it's actually a removal? Somebody much smarter than me can probably answer that question. Let's just make sure that... Yeah. I figured as much. So, wait. Go. And shade auto smooth. There we go. We've got a functioning catch. Now the only thing left to do is to just add a pin that goes through both of these. And then we'll be ready to go. So just do that. Do I want to apply the Boolean? Get rid of that. I think maybe that I do. Yeah, that should be fine. And then shift A cylinder would be the most likely of choices here. Y90. Apparently I clicked scale instead of rotate. Okay. That. Scale that down. Scale. Go shift Z. Pull that down. Probably just scale it Z slightly more. Okay, now scale Z until that's coming through the edges here. Now I need to apply a boolean to both this one and the top one to be able to hinge that. If I keep going like this, like I started with I think it's almost a 2-liter bottle. It's like 3/4 of the way filled. If I keep going like this, I'm gonna have to get more water. Shade auto smooth. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna. So generate boolean on cylinder, and then I'm gonna call the cylinder hinge ball. No, not hinge ball. Pin ball. And then same for this one. Just get a boolean and pinball. It almost sounds like I'm saying pinball, but I'm not. It's pin boolean. Gonna be the hinge in, and then the boolean. I can probably get rid of the hinge boolean at this point, right? Because I've already applied that, and like I wasn't technically supposed to apply it, but whatever. So duplicate the pin boolean, and then set this one to only be visible via wire, and then hinge in. I made a duplicate without even realizing. My brain just isn't functioning today, apparently. Now, if I scale this down, there we go. Now, if I hide the pin boolean, scale this. I probably actually need to subdiv the both of these. So if I subdivision surface 2, and then I add a bevel, and edit this so the edges have a bevel to them. I'm gonna set this to weight, and I'm gonna set this to be. Oh wait, one. Good lord, what the hell is going on with this thing? Apparently, this thing just decided to turn into a pin, like an actual legitimate, like corkboard pin. What is your deal? Like, do you want to explain yourself, perhaps? Why is it... Hello? Asking for you to do your goddamn job. What if I just inset these? And now, if I go back into this mode, I'm just going to make the same edits to this as well, just to make it look a bit nicer. If it would let me. So just do that, and then add the subdiv surface. Okay, I need to hide the pinball because it's distracting me a bit. Right, now, it should function as intended. Now if I do this, that should Okay, cool. Now I have the pin that goes in here. Now all I need to do is just connect these more or less to the top of the Pokeball and the bottom of the Pokeball respectively. Now I just need to knife tool. Okay, now it wants to cooperate. And Y, C to make sure I can cut through the entire thing, and enter. Now, if I extrude that out, get rid of these two, just get rid of the weight, and then this one I actually want to bevel manually. Grab this, grab this. Not those ones though. Grab those, set the bevel weight to max. And then this one, I want to set to 0. It should be good. In fact, I might even drag this one down a bit. Nah. Just drag the entire face down. Okay, got the Pokeball. Just realized that the entirety of the shell designs is active. I didn't want that. I'll just use this as a base. And now, same for this side. Go K for knife tool. Grab this one. C. Y. Bonk. And then extrude that to there. These, remove the bevel weight on them. Grab all of these. Put the bevel weight on them. And then probably don't need to bevel that actually. I did say I need to pull these up though. Do I want to bevel them? Possibly. Just grab both of these and then edit them at the same time. Because again, the only problem with doing that is that it causes weird geometry, and quite frankly, I think I prefer it if it was creased this way. So I'm actually just going to leave that alone. Okay, cool. Got the Pokeball all made. So now if I turn shell designs on and turn off everything that isn't the base Pokeball, we can now see that this is successful. Nice. Now I've just got to add designs to each single one of these. So I shall put these, with the exception of that thing, into a collection for that hinge. Nice. I've been popping in and out of stream playing Dead Before Daylight right now, which is why I haven't said anything. No problem, Foxy. I'm just trying to work out the logistics of getting the hinges and the internal of the Pokeball sorted out. You haven't really missed anything that important. Alright, so we've got that now. It's time to do some more of these. So, select objects, Shift D, and move them to the weird ball. I did do a little bit of editing to the weird ball off stream, so now it looks a little bit more rounded and a little less janky. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's certainly better than it was. Now, for this one, I'm going to do... Okay, chat, hear me out. This is going to look a bit strange at first, but I think this might work. So I'm going to make all of these be really strange directions. So I want to grab these and just move them probably 0.3. Same for this one, 0.3. And then these ones here, I'm actually going to move inwards. Or actually, do I want to move these along the vertex line? Probably vertex line is better. So, 0.3. 3. GG. 0.3. Chuck Kickass. Chuck E. Cheese gone rogue? Let's hope not. Okay, so now if I bevel this, it's going to have like a really weird design, and that's what I'm going for here. Cool. Now if I grab these, just set the bevel weight to the same one as these, which is 0.2. The name of the song, yeah, I know, like, I'm well aware of what the name of this song is. It's just incredibly funny to me. Okay, now, I did actually have... Let's quickly do this. This is the correct one, right? What the hell is that? What the hell are these? Excuse? What are these weird-ass formations? Get out of here. Anyway, this is a button. Like, I want to make it so that the buttons don't variate too much. Because I don't think it's going to be extremely helpful. So, Control V. Oh, crap. Okay, copy the button here, please, and then paste it. There we go, we have ourselves a very strange looking one. Now for this, I'm going to do something roughly similar with this outside edge here. I'm gonna... Actually, here's what I can do, right, chat? I can grab each single one of these vertices, and then I can actually just randomize them. But the problem is, like, it's not the same type of randomization that I would want. Like, in object mode, you can randomize stuff and it will, like, go in a specific direction however much. But what I really want to do is have the ability to randomize the sliding on this. As, like, move these up and down randomly, but I don't think I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edge slide that. How much should I edge slide that by? Let's do 0.4. And then do the same down the other direction. 4. So every other one. GG. 4. And it's going to give it like a weird sharp look. So now, if I grab all of these, I'm going to move this one down. 0.4. So if I grab this along here, and I bevel this, E, Alt S, and now if I set the bevel weight on this to 1, there, now it's all wavy. It looks so funky. I love it. I love how this looks. Is it wrong of me to say that this looks the way that laminated paper sounds? Like, you know the sound, right, chat? I don't have any laminated paper on me, but this looks the exact way laminated paper sounds. And honestly, good for it. Actually, okay, I've just had a thought. I wonder what would happen if I beveled these and then inset them. Yeah, like, Foxy knows. Like, it's that sound. Okay, it kind of looks cool, actually. So I might actually do that while I'm here. Now if I bevel this to like 0.001. Fine? Okay, yeah. And then I extrude them down. It kind of looks cool. And I can just take the individual things here and then scale them outwards to make the transition just a bit smoother. And then scale them out. There we go. Got a funky ball here. Okay, time to save an incremental on that. So we've got a weird looking button catch. We've got wavy lines on the side. We've got weird bumps on the top. I think this qualifies as a weird ball. Alright, time for the neon ball. So we'll just grab the internals, Shift D, move them into the neon ball design, and then hide that for now. I should actually probably Shift D that and move it into spheres, and then put that in the internal category, and then Shift D, move that one into the neon ball. Now I've got everything sorted out. Now for the neon ball, this one's going to work just a smidge differently. I'm going to have this be 2 different beveled sections. So I'm going to have these beveled a bit. I'm going to have them extruded inwards. So it's going to be like a lot brighter than the other balls. And then grab all of these external edges and then set the bevel weight to 0.2. So yeah, this one's going to have extra lights on it. And for this one, I'm actually going to add a couple extra loop cuts in here. Or do I want to... I can actually... So I'm going to bevel this one, I think. So I'm going to add an extra loop cut in here. And clamp that. Now I'm going to grab these GG to slide them up by like probably about 0.3. GG 0.3. And now I can grab each of these. Grab that one. Go to here. Actually, gonna get rid of those ones. And now I can bevel these ones. I'm gonna make the bevels on these quite a bit bigger. Alt S to shrink them. And then for both of these, going to set the bevel weight to 1. And there we go. Like, this is gonna look very bright the second I put any lighting on this thing whatsoever. So, I guess that's just on whoever decides to buy this godforsaken object. The only issue is now this doesn't look rounded. But, what can you do? Actually, there is something I can do about this. So what I can do here is I can grab the internal here and just start control plussing these until I get to round about here, and I can right click and circle them. And that looks slightly better, but like it's not rounded, so to speak. So I'm going to move this one. Like, I'm just going to move this edge here, with the exception of like all this extra stuff here. I grab that there, and I'm just going to G and then exit very slightly in that direction. And then move this up here. Yeah. How much is that? 0.2? Yeah. Same for this side, just get rid of these ones. GG. 0.2. I'm not sure how I'm gonna round this out except via eyesight. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna undo what I've just done here. Just undo all that. And then probably even this one. Grab that, grab that. Okay, that does work, but it also messes with the geometry something chronic. So probably what I need to do is I need to apply the mirror here. I need to grab this all the way around, and then I probably need to circle. But that's still fast with the geometry. I don't want it to. So if I right click and circle this, yeah, it still goes really weird. So I'm just going to control plus this. Going to circle that. It should have made it circular, but it didn't. Okay, so I guess the solution here maybe would then to be just getting rid of these faces here. And then circle them, perhaps? Okay, yeah, that's much better. Alright, chat, I fixed it. We now have the neon ball. Okay, now the next one is the pesky ball. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do for the pesky ball. I think maybe the best one for this would actually be extrusions as opposed to insets. And I know that sounds really strange, but you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So move that to the pesky ball collection. And now, if I go into here, So, the pesky ball is... I feel like the entire point of the Pester ball is to just be annoying. So, what's the most annoying thing after seeing everything that looks all nice and clean and inset? To have something that's just extruded to all hell. That is the point. That is the idea. So it's time to bevel this and extrude it outwards. Like, not very much, like this still needs to be usable. But the entire point is just, if you see it, you know you're going to have an annoying time with it. So, 0.2 for that one? Yeah. And then for this lot, I'm actually probably just going to inset everything here. Just inset this all. And then E, and then Alt S outwards. I think it looks like a really cool design, actually. There we go, and then around here as well, most likely. Yep. And what I can actually do with this one, I am going to give this a slight inset. I'm actually going to... If I bevel this, it just cuts down there. I want to probably bevel it one less. So bevel it like right here. And E, Alt S. And then set that also to 1. So there is some sort of lighting to this, but it's only on the sides, which is going to annoy people. Actually, there is one thing I just thought about here, right, chat? So this one here, I'm actually going to go back into edit mode for this. And I'm going to try my best to loop cut this entire thing here, because I can add a bit more neon to this, right? So if I join that together and join that one together, now I just need to move that out. I'll do it like 0.2 GG 0.2. Actually, I can just... What am I doing? I can just circle the things. If I look at this from head on... I wonder if I can rotate this, No, I can't rotate this to a vertex. That's annoying. Okay, so set that back to increment. Now, what I can do is I can actually bevel this. And then I can... like, extrude it inwards. Like, make this obnoxiously neon. Actually, maybe it's too much. Because, like, the button already has 2 sets of lights. So I think, yeah, maybe that might be a bit too much. So just set that back to normal. Alright, so we've got the neon ball, we've got the pesky ball. Now we've got the evil ball. Now, what's the most evil thing to do here? So I'm trying to think what would be the most evil looking design. Okay, select that, Shift D, move that to the Evil Ball collection. Because, like, unlike the pesky ball, it's not designed to be annoying, it's designed to look menacing. So, like, it really needs to be sharp edges. So I can probably even slide these to be 0.6 as opposed to I think it was like 0.2 that I did with the other one. 0.6. I think 0.6 is appropriate anyway. So now, if I should probably grab that one as well. 0.6. I grab this, bevel it. Don't want it to be too big now. Kind of looks like a flower, actually. So 0.001. Probably even 5. Although that's a pretty deep inset. 0.005. An extra 0 to that. Maybe even set that to 1. Now if I grab both of these, set the bevel weight to 1. Now I think the easiest way to do this one is to basically just grab all of the edges around here. If it would let me. And then set the ones here to be 1 as well. The only issue is like there's clipping on the outside, and I don't know how to fix that. I think like the only way I can fix that would be to get rid of these bottom faces. Or bottom faces, bottom edges. And hopefully when I go to bevel them this time, it should just keep the sharp edges without messing about the geometry too much. Now if I set the bevel weight higher... Ah, okay. So... Huh. That could be an issue. I've just realized that if I bevel these, like, it's going to have weird clipping geometry no matter what I do. So I need to possibly set the bevel weights on these. Okay, grab that. Those ones. Let's try this. Okay, that works. So I'm just going to keep going like this. Grab that. Grab that. That one as well. Grab the top one too, and increase the bevel weight. Let's go to like about 0.6. The shading does look a little bit off. So maybe I want to set the weight a bit higher. Okay, I think that looks okay. The only thing is, like, it's a bit too rounded for my taste, but, like, there's nothing I can do about that. Like, I'd basically have to bevel the entire ball if I want to prevent that geometry from doing what it's currently doing. What I can do, though, is I can grab all of these and shrink them a bit. And that should help with the geometry just a smidge. And insetting this doesn't really help here. Okay. Let's try insetting these. Oh, okay. That's a bit messy. I basically have to just get rid of the entire... I'll just lurk on my phone for some reason. The stream keeps lagging my game. Yeah, that's a bit rough. I'm sorry, Foxy. Alright, let's try that. No, it's also still... Yeah, I think no matter what I do in terms of bevel here, it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set the bevel to off for now. I'm going to bevel this one here to 0.2 like it was before. I'm muted, by the way, so I can't hear you. Okay. Alright, there we go. Hopefully he has a good evening. And set this one to 0.2 as well. Now, I think I can probably get away with using crease here. Yeah, I can get away with using crease there. So I'm going to do just that. So if I turn off subdiv for a second. I almost forget myself that I have commands because I don't actually have them actively advertised on stream. I need to remember to set up the bots a little bit better. There's like a lot of... there's a lot of things I still need to set up, right? Like, I want to set up the Discord to be a little bit more functional. Like, I want to have, not necessarily a raffle, but like an ideas page for people to just like post their ideas to. So like, if I find something that I like, I can, you know, help them model the thing that they're looking for. At least that's the general idea. Get that on and... Okay, the crease somewhat works. Unfortunately, it still has that weird flipping issue. If I set the crease on that... Honestly, I think I prefer that. The only issue, right, is if I have that all the way around the ball, it's going to break stuff. Undo that one. I need to, like, get rid of all of these. Because it's going to cause me issues. Make sure I get rid of the internal ones too, because I know they're there. Must be something in the air tonight. Okay. Grab that one. Now if I set the crease up on these. Ah, now that could be an issue. It looks like the shading is a bit off. If I inset these. Okay, that doesn't really help either. Darn. I was hopeful that it would. Maybe insetting on the base one here. I thought the inset came with a plan. It doesn't? That's a really strange decision. Oh, good lord. Alright, where'd the bastard go? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to remove all the evil ball stuff and I'm just going to redo this from scratch. Alright, let's see. Select the internal objects, duplicate them, move them to a new collection, or just to the evil ball collection. Okay, and let's try this again. So what would the evil ball design look like if not spiky then? That's the real question on this one. Because it seems like making it all jagged and spiky isn't really doing much here. Like, the only other thing really that I haven't quite done is having it... Actually. Huh. Now there's an idea. Okay, it's going to be like a really specific set of things I'm going to have to do for this one. But I think this design could work. So if I set the crease to be all the way to 1. And now I have to turn off subdiv for a second because I need to see what I'm doing here. So if I insert and then individual, it's going to give me individual insets. Now, first thing I need to do here is I actually need to remove the creases on these. I actually need to set these weights to 1. Or actually just 0.2 speeds. So now we've got that, right? So that's doing the thing. Now I need to go all the way around here. I need to inset an individual. And then I need to extrude these out. And then scale them in. I also need to turn off the thing for now. Just for a brief moment. Oh wait, I know why. It's because, dang it. Okay, why are these two together? I've insert and boundary is off, I believe. Yep. Now if I extrude these out, and then scale them, okay, it's like a good starting design. But like, I want them to be, you know, evil. Evil. If that makes sense. If I... Okay, I'm gonna have to set these to be beveled as well. And then inset them. Set those are already beveled by default. Stop clipping, you annoying bastards. Okay, there we go. And the only issue is, like, it's sort of twisted a bit. And I don't really like that. And plus, these don't really need to be beveled at all. So I just need to grab all of these and just remove the bevel on them. Okay, that looks a little bit more menacing. The only issue is, like, the shading is really weird on this. I couldn't tell you why it was. It's not, inverted, is it? It's not, doesn't look like it. No, it's not inverted, so... Wait, do I have a bevel on that outer edge? I might not. I do. So why is it giving me really weird shading errors? Okay, let's set this back to 0.2. Let's scale this in a bit. I wonder if I can, like, extrude these out and scale them in. It doesn't look very sharp if I do that, though. Oh, that is correct. I was like, why does it look weird? It's because it's the way you design the ball, sweetie. Huh. It seems a bit strange that I can't really do anything about that. Like, what I could do is have alternating designs, although to be fair, I'm gonna have to apply the mirror on this one before doing it. So, grab that one. And then, like, for the inner layer, I can probably just do the opposite direction. And then S0. Probably not quite 0 then. What if I beveled these? 0.2. Okay, and then same with this one. Set the bevel to 0.2. But then I need to remove the bevels on the external and internal faces. Probably need to adjust the horns as well while I'm at it. So set that to 0. These. Also need to hide the buttons so I can reach those ones. Honk. And then remove the internals like that. Okay, that somewhat works. I might need to make the spikes a bit smaller, so I'm going to select similar. I don't want to select area. Select similar diameter? No. Similar normal doesn't help. What about coplanar? Nope. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to grab all these. Actually, what I can do is I can actually grab these like this. Yeah, see? That wasn't so hard now, was it? And then G... Y for all these. And just scale them in a smidge more. Okay, Like, I don't want them to be no longer menacing. Like, I want it to be like, oh yeah, like, if you use this Pokeball, you're going to have to hurt yourself to get the Pokemon out, type of thing. And it's like, stupidly edgy, but that's just the way that I wanted it to look. Okay, now for this, like the external, I'm gonna have it be like this. I'm gonna bevel it with an extra one. Going to Alt S. Actually, I need to E before I Alt S. And then this one here, I'm also going to Alt S even further. Actually, I'll just get rid of this one first. And then I'm going to crease this one, just to make it look a little more dangerous before beveling this one. Okay, that works. I just need to remember to do that on both sides now. It's like 2 from the front, yeah? Alright, cool. Do that. And then E. Alt S. And then like this. And then Alt S to scale outwards. Use that to really just imply the sharpness. And then bevel weight on that. And there we go, we've got a sharp boy right here. I really need to... Do I want to scale these and, like, scale them to 0? Possibly. Well, let's see how it looks first. S. And let's merge these by distance. Actually, yeah, because if I merge them by distance, it's just going to do that. If I scale them 0, merge them by distance, and then if I do that, by distance, grab this. That should be good. Yeah, there we go. What a menacing goddamn song for this ball, huh? Like, there was no reason for the song, like, for the music to do that, and it just did it anyway, and honestly, like, that's funny. Okay, so that's pretty good. The only one that I haven't been able to do yet is this one, but that's fine. I do have to get going now. Now, remembering there is no stream tomorrow because I am going to be out. And, like, I won't have enough time to do a stream while I'm doing what I'm doing tomorrow. So I shall see y'all in the next stream.